a US passport for your baby. That is the dream, and for many Indian families, it feels like the ultimate jackpot. But today, I want to tell you what happened to one couple who tried at Los Angeles airport. On what was supposed to be beginning of their American dream, it ended within 3 hours. Visa revoked, lifetime ban, flight back to India, and a lesson that every Indian family needs to hear. So, stay with me because this story has a twist that most people never see coming. Hi everybody, I'm Neha Upadhyay and this is Ecos Global. So let's talk about the story. The story is about an Indian couple, both educated, both professional, both with valid B1, B2 visitor visa. The wife was pregnant and their plan was to fly to America, have the baby, get the US passport, go back to India. Simple. Very clean plan. A plan that thousands of Indian families have made and honestly, many have carried out without any problem. So what went wrong for this couple? The answer is not what most people expect. It was not the pregnancy that got them caught. It was the small deception that followed. So they landed at Los Angeles International Airport, one of the most heavily staffed immigration checkpoints in America. They walk up to the counter, smiling, confident, all set to enter in America and start their dream journey. The officer asks standard questions: purpose of visit, tourism. How long are you staying? A few weeks. Where are you staying? A hotel in Los Angeles. And then the officer looks at the wife and asks one simple question: when is your baby due? Now here is where it went wrong. The wife gave an answer that combined with everything else told the officer exactly what he needed to know. The baby was due very soon, within weeks, and yet this couple had booked a return ticket for months later. Their hotel booking was for an extended stay, and their answers about why they were visiting had nothing to do with the baby. The inconsistency was clear, and experienced immigration officers who see hundreds of travelers every single day spotted it immediately. Now here is what happened next. Red folder, secondary inspection, a separate room where CBP officers have full authority to ask detailed questions. CBP has full right to go through every document and examine every piece of evidence. In secondary inspection, the questions got more specific. Why is your return ticket so far in the future if this is just a short vacation? Why is your hotel booked for such a long period? Do you have a hospital lined up for the delivery? And here is the moment that sealed everything. The couple, under pressure, admitted the truth. They had planned to give birth in America. They had already arranged a hospital. They had already contacted doctors. The primary purpose of their trip was not tourism, it was birth tourism. And under US law, entering on a visitor visa with the primary purpose of giving birth is visa fraud. The officer revoked both their visas on the spot, and within hours, they were on a flight back to India with a lifetime ban. So the question is, why this is illegal? See, the context is very important and I want to be very clear. Having a baby in America is not illegal at all. If you are in America legally, if you are on H-1B visa, on a green card or any other valid work visa and you give birth, your child is an American citizen that is protected by the US Constitution. But what is illegal is entering America on a visitor visa while the primary purpose of your trip is to give birth. That is visa fraud. Why? Because our B1, B2 visitor visa is for tourism, business and visiting family, not for the specific purpose of giving birth to obtain citizenship for your child. And immigration officers are specifically trained to identify this. The questions they ask, the documents they check, the inconsistencies they look for, they have seen it all before. Now here is the current reality, because this story, as shocking as it is just one example of what is much bigger crackdown. Just this week on August 7, 2026, President Trump signed 2 new executive orders specifically targeting birth tourism. The White House was very direct. It said citizenship is not a commodity to be acquired through calculated exploitation and invasion of immigration laws. The State Department has already dismantled multiple international birth tourism networks and revoked hundreds of visas across Africa, Europe, and yes, South Asia as well. The enforcement is stronger than it has ever been, and the consequences, as this couple discovered, are permanent. Now let's talk about the green card myth, because a lot of Indian families believe this, and it is simply not true. Does having a US born children guarantee the parents a green card? No, absolutely not. Not immediately, not automatically. A US citizen child can sponsor their parents for a green card, but only after the child turns 21 years old. 21 years. So if your child is born in America today, you would have to wait until 2047 before that child can even start the process of sponsoring you. And even then, it is a long and uncertain process. So the idea that a US born baby is a shortcut to green card is a complete myth. Not just a complete myth, but a very expensive myth with very serious consequences if you try to pursue it through deception. Now let's talk about the H-1B families who are legally in America. For Indian families already in America on H-1B or any other work visa, the Supreme Court ruled on June 30, 2026 that children born in America to legal visa holders are American citizens. That has not changed. The new executive orders target birth tourism for people coming specifically to give birth, not families who are already here legally. So if you are on H-1B or an L-1 visa or any other valid work visa and your baby is born in America, your child is an American citizen, period. And nothing has changed for you. So I think everything is clear to you. Having a baby in America is not illegal at all. But if you are on a visitor visa and you give birth to a child in America and your purpose, the primary purpose of your visiting America is giving birth to a child so that your child can be citizen of America, is illegal. It is not protected under US Constitution. However, if you are on a legal work visa and you give birth to your child in American soil, your child will be US citizen and it is protected by US Constitution. If you agree with me, you can comment your views in the comment section. That's all in this video. See you in the next one. Stay tuned to Ecos Global.